Welcome, my friends. Welcome. We are here. It's a Thursday. We're at Breakroom 86.
Best place to be.
Another show.
Let's rock.
How we feeling?
Real good. I'm Vinny. This is Freddie.
There it is.
Let's
Let's give it up for Vinny, everybody. Give it up for Vinny.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know we got to be brief, but we got to give it up for Vinny. It's his podcast, the Who Is podcast. We started this months ago doing this at Breakroom 86, and we want to give a shout out to Breakroom 86 real quick. So a round of applause for Breakroom 86 for hosting us.
Thank you.
Once a month, every month for these past few months.
Yep.
And yeah, let's cool. we're tight on time, and we have amazing guests. So usually we kind of like the banner. I guess this is kind of it. But Vinny pulled me over before and was like, "Hey, listen, we can't banner a lot.
Here he goes."
So
yeah, let's get into it. We're here. Who is with Vinny Fiorenza? My co-host Freddie. He's going to do a little bit of an introduction to our amazing guests. This night is the Women in Entertainment Night.
Let's give it up for Women in Entertainment and our guests this evening. Let's do it.
All right, Freddie, take it away.
Here we go. So, we have three amazing guests, and the first one. She has been working in casting for nearly a decade and is currently based in Los Angeles. She has worked on several different television shows and feature films, some of which includes CBS's CSI Vegas and Fire Country, NBC's Good Girls, Netflix's Firefly Lane, and Blumhouse's Halloween. More recently, she has moved towards her passion for directing. While doing so, she has created a women's network and circle called Women Create. Let's give it up for them real quick. Women Create in the building. This circle contains over 100 fellow female creatives, varying from producers, writers, directors, cinematographers, etc., etc. She hopes that as it continues to grow, that it will serve as a safe space for female creatives and help them to flourish into their desired craft. That's beautiful. Let's also give it up for our guest, Faith Abraham, in the building. Pew, pew, pew. Usually we have the DJ gives like a little sound effects, but welcome, Faith.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you doing?
Oh, any better I'd be dead. How's it going?
Doing well, thank you. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
For being
Thank you
here.
for having me.
Yes, let's go. East Coast in the building.
East Coast in the building.
Let's go.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Let's go. Anybody in the East? From the East over here?
Not a soul. Not a soul.
Let's go. We got some hands. All right, so our next lovely guest. She is an LA-based talent manager with Key Talent Management, a bi-coastal firm representing multi-hyphenate talent in the areas of theatrical film and TV, commercial, and unscripted. Clients include Coy Stewart and Claire McNulty. My friends, please give a warm welcome to Michaela Mahoney in the building. What's up, Michaela?
Hi.
Hello, hello. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. How's it going?
It's going well. How are we feeling?
Good. I'm happy to be here. Thank
Happy
you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
Happy
Happy
to
to
have
be
you.
with these other incredible women.
Let's go. We got one more to complete the whole tribe right here, and we'll do that right about now. She is a producer, actress, and USC School of Cinematic Arts alumni. After numerous internships during school, she began working at Paradigm Talent Agency and later Silverman Management. She has produced award-winning short films, including MUY GAY TOO MEXICANO, available to stream on Max, and is now entering the festival circuit with a short she co-wrote, produced, and starred in called Last Rites. Let's give it up for that real quick. Let's give it up for that. Under Megan Silverman, she learned the ins and outs of casting and representation, as well as began operating a dedicated development department to find books and IP for clients. My friends, please welcome Caroline Stevens in the building. Let's go. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Are we allowed to can I banner now? Could I just
Go
talk?
for it, Freddie.
No,
Let yourself free.
We got a lot of questions. And I do want to mention we are doing a Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, we will get to them. So start percolating in the brain space. Vinny.
Let's go for it. So something we like to ask our guests all these nights, why entertainment? Like what brought you here? Let's start it out, Faith.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Right into
You know, I think truly, like, as a kid, I just enjoyed making people laugh, which transitioned into, like, deep onset childhood trauma, which then transitioned into, like, moving to Los Angeles. So I think, like, entertainment was just the only path, I guess. And I love telling stories and like being with people and like that collaborative space. So I think entertainment was kind of a dead ringer for me.
Nice.
It's awesome. Welcome. Welcome.
What are you thinking, Michaela? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I definitely, entertainment for me is because, like, I got into it, okay? I got into it because I'm from LA and I was always around. I'm from the Valley. And
Any
I was always
locals in the building? Any
looking
locals? Locals in the building?
Valley
girls are
girls.
here.
I didn't think I would say it immediately, but here we go. Yeah, so I was always kind of like looking into Hollywood. My mom, every year I would watch the Oscars with her. She's a big fan of red carpets and stuff like that, and that just always inspired me and was very creative as a kid, and I just wanted to get into it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Caroline?
Yeah, for me, as we all kind of brought up childhood, I would become so engrossed watching TV that my mom literally took me to the ear doctor to make sure that I didn't have loss of hearing because I wouldn't listen to her when she yelled at me. Called my name across the house to be like, no, I'm watching TV. So yeah, I went to college in LA and I kind of came upon wow, people actually do this as a career, which was never anything I was exposed to previously. So it's been a circuitous and odd road to here, but we're here and it's going well.
We're happy you're here specifically
Shout out
tonight.
to the journeys. It's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey. So we're still in the midst, hopefully the tail end of a strike. So when you're, this is a question for all three of you, take it one at a time. When you're dealing with talent, how has it been? Like, what's been like reactions from talent to casting specifically, and then as reps?
Anyone can jump right in.
Sure. Yes. So I guess, at least from my perspective, a lot of people, thankfully, all the clients are very understanding because there is nothing that we can do at this moment. And, you know, certain people have certain skills they want to develop during this time, or, you know, they're writing projects to keep busy. And I think everybody is just trying to, you know, wait it out as best as everyone can and focus on what we can control, which is unfortunately not the studios. So.
Not yet.
That's a great
Yes.
way to put it. I think, like, I guess as a rep, like, as far as dealing with talent, it's been a lot of empathy and just wanting to listen to them and how they're feeling and how can we find a solution of, yeah, there isn't much that we can control like the studios, but what is in front of us, what can we control, and how can we keep the motivation going so it's not, it's a very sad and just to be a creative existing while, you know, your essence is being, you know, like people are not getting paid what they should, and already it's such a horrible situation that they're in that we just as reps want to help support and keep that light alive in them, because it's, you know, it's just a hard thing to do, and not that we're the only ones doing it, but just like we just try to be as encouraging as possible, because definitely morale is not the highest, but it is really cool to see how people have transitioned and pivoted and found different things to do with this time and worked on new skills and stuff like that. So it's been really inspiring as well to see how people have come out of this time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited for this one.
y'all, real quiet on the casting front. But I think, yeah, piggybacking off of what these ladies said, I think it's just a time for people to kind of buckle down and, you know, work on that reel, work on your presentation, work on yourself, work on what it is that you want post-strike, and creative avenues and spaces, like, you know, Carly working on a project in this time, like, you know, Michaela encouraging her talent to, you know, fine-tune all the elements that they should be in this interim. And I think, you know, morale is low, but I think encouraging people that, like, we are bigger than the strike and that we've made this decision and that we are going to progress forward. So just to, like, encourage people in that, and, like, obviously, you know, bitch when you want to bitch, but also, like, recognize that we're going to get through it. We always do. We're relentless. And, yeah, I hope that we take something away from this time, and I don't know, just use it as best as we can. It's rough, but it's not the end, you know?
Absolutely.
Totally. Caroline, well, so yeah, my bad about that. How has it been like day to day with clients? Like, what is a typical back and forth right now, and like, what was it before as well? Just to give it like a, I don't know, to our audience that isn't in entertainment.
Yeah, it's drastically night and day. The day-to-days, no, it used to be so active, and part of my job is obviously also talking to casting and getting the rundown of what's going on with projects and where they are at with roles, and then relaying the helpful information to clients. Maybe not all of it, because that's not necessary. That wouldn't be great. But what it can be helpful for them, and to put them in the right mindset to either do a great audition or say, I did my best, and move on. So that's not happening much right now at all. So yeah, right now it's just very maintaining, the relationships with clients, checking in with them, making sure they're good. If they do need support in any other ways, figuring out what that is, if that's just emotional support, talking to them, or other things. So very, very different.
Nice. I appreciate that. Michaela, what goes into connecting and like meeting new clients? Like how has that been for you?
Like, and if I may,
Go for it.
how can an actor, I'd say, approach you via email? What would be some things that would pop out to you? What are you looking at in the email per se, as that would pique your interest to take it further, possibly setting up a Zoom meeting, since we're in the digital age and world that we are in today? Well, what does that look like? What does that email look like from the actor to send to you to say, hey, I want to take an interview with this actor?
There's a lot of variables, I think, to that. For me, it depends on talent. They're all, different. So I think it depends on kind of like my roster at the moment, sort of if there's someone stands out to me, if they have a really cool, interesting headshot, if they have recognizable credits to me, especially if it's a show or a movie that I like, that they have highlighted themselves as being in. Something that I really appreciate is when people show that they are casting relationships, and especially when people are able to have referrals. That goes a long way for me. When we know that Faith is like, hey, this person's awesome, then we're like, oh, they must be super awesome, we should meet them. And like also just having like really natural, great performances, cool looks. I like to see when people in their headshots have like an interesting style or something about them that's bold and feels like we could work well together. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, the inside scoop. I guess kind of the same question. Then we'll get into the women's stuff while we're here today. But yeah, what advice do you give to actors when reaching out to casting, or should they be reaching out to casting?
How are we feeling about that, Faith?
There are two schools of thought, No, I think there's appropriate channels, of course, like through representation and getting a call from, Caroline or Michaela, like people that I know and I've interacted with, I think obviously is most appropriate when you're pitching or presenting. But I also encourage actors, casting is constantly seeking out new talent in their own way. So whether that's via a theatrical performance, like we were talking about earlier, or different avenues, I think that you can make a way for yourself in this generation, in this time of the internet and different mediums that we never had before, to make a presence known to casting. And it's kind of our jobs to be, I always say we're sleuths, but we're very much internet trolling everyone, or when someone says they're a Vail, but then we see that they're in Tahiti, and I'm like, really? Are they really Take a Vail LA? I don't know about
There's
that.
some investigation to be
Yeah, because on
had.
Instagram, they're in Tahiti. But yeah, I think it's just looking for something new, something fresh. So I think I would encourage talent to embrace that and use their social media and use platforms and use this space to make something new for themselves. Because casting's looking. We're very much looking for those things too.
Awesome.
So this on the quicker side, like what is casting? Like what goes into that? I know it's not a quick answer, but we'll do our best that we can.
What does the day-to-day look like? I mean, now it's slow, yes, but prior to strike, and what does that consist of?
Oh, okay. It's a thankless position, and I think I would encourage everyone to just like, it's truly selfless. I think the women that are in it, it's a predominantly female part of the industry for sure, much like a lot of representation too. It's relationship with these people, these women here. It's relationship with reps. It's breaking down the scripts, printing the sides, talking to the studio, talking to the networks, talking to creatives, juggling the hats, collecting the deals, doing the budgets. Like you're facilitating 60 things at once, which I think women do best, biasly. But
Let's go.
I've said what I've said.
Let's go.
And I think it's great. I've seen so many dynamic, incredible women. Like, you know, you've got CAA on one line, you've got the studio on the other, and you're closing a deal and it's down to the last minute and you're pushing for an actor. I would like to say casting is always pushing for actors. Always, always, always. We're always in your corner.
Let's give a round of applause for that.
Always.
I'm an actor, actors out there.
Like,
It's
always.
major. We need that.
Always, and you know, encouraging the studio to take that other look, telling the director, please take another look at this person, and just we champion actors. We sit in the room with them, we see them book the smaller co-star that moves into the guest star, that moves into the recurring, and we love when they book that bigger role. We know when they book something that changes their life, and I love that journey. So I think casting is like 100 things in one, but with that like. Truly a wonderful craft, and I would encourage like anyone that has any interest to like look into it for sure.
Thank you. Yeah,
great.
no, I knew we were
That's
going to
great.
learn
Let's
a
get-
lot
yeah.
here.
Round of applause.
So, but the theme of tonight is women in entertainment. What does it mean to you guys to be a woman in entertainment, Caroline? I don't know. We can laugh at it, but maybe it might mean something to you guys.
That feels like a very large question.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I think I've had a very positive journey in terms of finding other women who are very supportive and able to help each other on their journeys. And personally, I work for a woman, Megan Silverman. She was a partner at WME for 15 years, started so many amazing careers of great, great people. And it's really been nice to have her as a mentor and finding that kind of golden egg of, oh, she'll help me and this is great, and she teaches me so much. So I found a lot of very supportive women to model off of and work with. So that's been a blessing in my life of having those relationships.
Wow, thank you.
Shout out Megan too, if you're watching here. Shout out Megan.
What do you got, Michaela?
Yeah, being a woman in entertainment, big question, but I would say similarly, like it's a lot of the connectivity has been a really wonderful part of it. For me, I think it's a daunting industry to get into, as just in general, and as a woman, I guess, but it is just a daunting industry, and I've found so much joy and support in a lot of just the people that I've found that have just seen me as a professional and supported me and saw that I care a lot about the work that I do. And to me, like being a woman in entertainment is just being the best person I can be and being as confident as I can, and just like trying to do my best by everyone that I work with, from the casting side to agents to talent, just wanting to, I feel like I feel a strong responsibility sort of, or like pull to I just want to do my very best, because there is so much in this industry where people are not kind to each other and do not lift each other up. And for me, I guess in a way being a woman in entertainment means that, like just wanting to support every person that I work with and try and be as kind as I can in this trying industry.
Wow, perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. Let's close it strong.
Faith.
Hi. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah, as a woman in the industry, I think it's hard. I think it's hard for women in general. I think in any capacity. But I've been fortunate enough to like work in casting and work with reps like these lovely ladies beside me. I think we're in a space and a time, if obviously looking at the success of like Barbie, where I think the studios are recognizing that like there's some real opportunity with women, and I pray to God that's true and continues. But I don't know, I think that the pendulum is swinging that way, and I hope it will continue, and I think it's, as each of these women beside me have said, it's having strong mentorships, it's women championing other women in an industry that doesn't, and it's also trying to do your best in an industry that doesn't allow you to always do that. So with that, for me, I think I've recently, like, moving into casting, I'm trying to direct more. That's more the goal. And I,
Congrats.
Thank you. It's impossible, but thank you. Which was how I met Carly. So I created a women's networking event.
Tell
us about that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, wow. And it's called like the Women's Create. And we have like an Instagram, and because that makes you official. And we meet like monthly, and it began with like 10 women in my apartment, and it's in the last 6 months grown to like 100 plus women.
That's incredible. That's great.
We
Congrats.
just
That's great.
meet, and we talk, and we vent, and we process. But more than anything, I just wanted it to be such a safe space for women to come together, pitch ideas, and meet other women that would like help them on their journey, whether it be networking, mentorship, something. And also to recognize too that we never want to be given an opportunity singularly because we're a woman, but because we're the best at what we do. I want to be the best at what I do. I want to not be given check a box, or because the studio wants to give me a handout. I know Ridley Scott doesn't lose sleep. I know Spielberg doesn't lose sleep wondering if they're the best. I want us to be the fucking best.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatness.
But yeah, so I'm excited to see where that goes, and like also being pro women but not anti men. I think we can all hold space together.
Absolutely.
We can all hold space together.
100%.
Yeah, trying our best to be extremely inclusive over here at Who
thank
Is. Yeah, of course. We're gonna open it up a little bit. If you guys have any questions
We have
out
some
there.
time for questions
If
if
we
anyone
don't,
wants
I could
to.
keep coming up. I could come up with 100 more. But
What do we got questions? We got Shy. I see your hand. Yeah.
loudly, please.
The floor is yours, Shy.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you so much. It's really inspiring, and I kind of wonder. I'm an actress, a writer, and I wonder because you all do different things, but you also produce, direct, write. How do you combine that with, casting,
Great question.
the manager and agent? How do you find that combination?
That's a great question.
I am not. You guys have both produced a lot more than I have, and so. But I would say in my specific what I do, I bring my creativity out in working with my clients on their projects. I love when my clients send me a short that they wrote or a feature, and I get to tell them what I think, and I get to inspire them and motivate them and help push it forward in whatever capacity I have. And that's a fun way that I get to be creative. And sometimes they'll let me like design the decks. I'm like, really? You let me do it? And it's so fun. Then we get to, like play around with it together, and that's a fun creative way. But I think you guys probably have.
Okay, Caroline.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. It's like juggling, and I was never good at that anyways. So it's, balance, I don't think personally exists. There's always going to be something that is slightly stronger than the other, and if it is perfect, not going to last very long because you're just pulled in so many different directions. So, of course, working, you have all those responsibilities, and then you eke whatever time you can to make these creative projects for yourself. And, with the industry being how it is, that's given me more time to work on the post-production of my short. So, I shot it a year ago, and it has taken this long, and now we're submitting it to festivals.
It's also on Max right now, right? Is that the short?
No, that's a different
okay.
short.
Well, she
Yeah.
also has a short on
That was my
Max
last
that she should be bragging about.
Well, yes, I do. It is still there. We're very
What's it
happy
called?
about
What's
that.
it called?
It is called MUY GAY TOO MEXICANO.
On Max. Check it out. At home. I always like to point to the camera.
Check it out.
To the viewer at home.
It's very, very fun and amazing, creative direction by the director Jorge Molina and my director, the director Lorena Lorenco and the writer Jorge Molina. Amazing creative vision there. So just going back, it's always challenging. Sometimes I feel like I'm failing. doing everything that I want to do, but this is kind of an industry of perseverance, and that's kind of what matters at the end of the day, that we just continue to show up and work on your craft and keep putting your message out there and connecting with people, and we muddle through, so.
Beautiful. Thank you for the question,
thank
Shai.
you,
So we
Shai.
appreciate that. Anybody else have a question out there? We still have some time. I see a hand right
Yeah,
there.
We got you.
I was wondering, is there anything that an actor or an actress can do to stand out as someone who takes their career more seriously than others?
You can tell.
1,000%.
Yes, it sounds so bizarre, but getting the audition, as I'm sure Faith would say, is you're already winning. You're already in a small pot of people that are being, compared. So there are people that don't meet the deadlines for those self-tapes, or there's people that lack the communication skills to give us updates, tell us where they are, and then Faith has to track you down or stuff like that. So being communicative, being upfront, being your true self and being honest with your representations, I think that is very important. And over time, we're able to identify that. So, Michaela, would you add?
Yeah, I agree. I think as far as definitely how seriously you take it will show. In even from the first pitch email, if it feels really personal, even just trying to get reps and trying to show that you're a serious actor, you have to. Everything needs to feel like you put a lot of time and care into it, and not just I just put it together here, which I understand that it happens, but from our side, when we see that something is really thoughtful, that someone is going through and saying, oh, this is my work that I've done, this is where I've trained, that someone that's clearly going out and meeting a lot of people, trying to find all the opportunities that they can. I think from my side, the more active that you can be, and the more that you can show that you are building movement on your own, that shows that that's someone that takes this super seriously. Whether it's having a podcast or making a women's group or producing a short film, any of those things I think will set someone apart, in my opinion.
I think so too, on my side of things, in the casting of it all, I always tell actors, you're never booking the role, you're booking the room. So you go in, and it's you're not going to book every job, obviously, and reps know that, casting knows that, but we remember how you present yourself, how prepared you are, just general etiquette in the room and being with the space and just being prepared, general preparedness of having the material, knowing what's going on, being on time, very simple things. Because more than likely, almost likely, every office I've ever worked in, they will remember you for the next thing. If it's not that job, it's the episode 3, 3 letters, or, oh, there was that girl, she was so great. Oh, yeah, Carly's client, or, oh, yeah, Michaela's girl. What was her name? And then it becomes, if you present yourself well in that space, we will bring you forward again and again and again. And that kind of begins your journey and your momentum as, learning casting, learning how it goes. And I think it'll be great. And then I know in this interim time of not having in the room sessions and doing self-tapes, it's just getting your self-tape on time, making it we don't need crazy lighting, crazy mics. We just want a clean take, something that shows you that it's professional, that is what we've asked for, slating as we've asked, very, the bare just the bare minimum. But yeah, that would just, I think that's helpful.
One thing to add, naming your files.
Oh, please, God.
That's
Please,
great
God.
advice.
Yes.
Name those files.
Yes.
Your headshot,
Yeah.
first and last name. Anything,
Correct.
name the file. So helpful, especially on these tapes.
Please.
Don't just transfer a tape with image
God.
_38.
Pretend it's being sent to
yes,
you.
yeah.
Pretend it's being sent to you.
Yeah.
Treat it how you want it to be sent to yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna give everyone a chance to boast about themselves a little bit, what you're working on next, and where people could connect with you if you want to be connected with. You can start off. This is
Hey.
Faith.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so obviously the women's group, which it's like the women's create, it's like the writing circle, which I'm happy to share. There's like an Instagram handle for that. I also just wrapped a short film that I directed, which is all female crew, all female cast, which I luckily got to bring my production designer here with me tonight. She's incredible, also a female director. The future is female.
Shout out.
Shout out. But that was really great. And then I'm actually while we're in the strike I'm going to be doing a like kind of reality sort of 10-minute episodic called Cruising with Casting, where I'm going to be interviewing casting directors in a car, my car.
Love that.
Like very James Corden, like very fun.
Yeah.
And I've got some like really neat like co-CDs and like higher level associates that are going to do it with us, and we're going to like break it down specific to like comedy style and acting, just because I know actors are hurting to be in the room, and again like casting is on your side, so we want to like remarry that kind of relationship, so that'll be super fun. But yeah, and then that's it. Like my personal Instagram is so boring, I'm not going to bore you, but I'm happy to like share the Women's Create stuff. So yes, that's me.
Women's Create WC.
Which is for like the Women's Collective, but yeah.
Women's Create WC.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm managing my roster mostly and booking people on national commercials because that's what we got right now.
That's
But
a great answer.
it keeps the lights on, so that's fun. I spend a lot of time doing that, working on developing a number of unscripted concepts with my clients, and we work with my company, Key Talent Management. If you want to look us up, you can find our email. We work on some development projects. Right now, we put a lot of our focus into unscripted because people are buying it. And it's been really interesting to work on that. And then we've also been helping clients if they're working on shorts, trying to get their short ready for festival circuit, looking at a lot of headshots, doing a lot of phone calls. Yeah, just the manager thing. But yeah, you can find me my email. If you want to email me, my email is Michaela at Key Management, or my Instagram, which is not super exciting, is just Michaela MHN.Y.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela.
Let's hear it, Caroline.
Yes. So I'll split it in half, but on the kind of management side, I'm doing the development part of the company. So we're looking at, IP and books for clients like Henry Golding, Nicola Peltz-Beckham, Michael Cimino, I could say so many other people. So just amazing clients that I love so dearly, and trying to get stuff prepared for them. And then obviously I have my short, submitting to festivals, and writing. I'm writing a script, or I'm writing a book. There is no end to the thoughts.
Proactive. We love it.
Amen.
And Freddie, what are you up to?
Yeah, Freddie.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear it.
I'm actually producing and acting in a play right now. It's going to be put up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm producing and acting in a play. It's called Mauritius by Teresa Rayback. We open October 12th at Theater 68 in North Hollywood. We'll love to chit-chat with everyone about that, and hope you could join us. October 12th we open. And you can follow me at Freddie Girlando. And then Vinny, the podcast, the handles, the YouTube, how can they subscribe and follow you?
The YouTube is Vinny Fiorenza. It's just my name. It's under my channel, which I would really love it if you all subscribed in this room. It'd be
Click
really
the like
helpful.
button.
Yeah, do all that crap. We'd love it. But also the Instagram's whois_podcast. You can find me. I'm sure half you guys see my Instagram through this. I know a bunch of you here, and I'll get to know you if I don't. But I'd love to figure out ways to work with all you in some way. I do a pretty good job of making my way around with everyone here in some way. But thank you for coming out. This is amazing. Thank you, Breakroom.
Everybody, for joining us.
Yes.
We appreciate our guests. Let's give it
Close
up
us
one more
out.
time for our women in entertainment. Faith, Michaela, Caroline. We appreciate you ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you again, Breakroom 86.
Woo!
Be sure to tip your bartenders. We're going to hang around. We're going to vibe out. We're going to connect, and we'll have the DJ on in a few moments to create a vibe. But thank you guys again,
Yeah.
and we'll
Let's
see
rock.
y'all next time.
Appreciate you.
Be
Thank
well,
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you.